Hello everyone and welcome back to my kitchen. For today's recipe, we're going to be making chicken tinga, tostadas de tinga de pollo. We're going to start out by boiling our chicken, and for that we're going to need 4 to 5 chicken thighs. I'm using the bone-in, but you can also use the boneless or chicken breast. We're also going to add 1/4 of an onion, 3 garlic cloves, 1 very large bay leaf or 2 small ones, and a teaspoon of salt. Boil the chicken on medium-high heat for about 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, remove it from the stock pot, but don't discard the chicken broth because we will be using it later. Once it completely cools down, skin the chicken, remove the bones, and shred it. And while we're waiting for the chicken to cool down, we're going to begin to prepare the sauce. And for that, we're going to need half an onion cut in half, 4 garlic cloves, 4 to 5 chiles de arbol. The chiles de arbol are optional. I like to add them to give it a little bit of heat and spice. You can use 5 or more, or you can leave them out completely. We're also going to need 3 Roma tomatoes roughly chopped, 5 chile guajillos. These I washed, removed the seeds and the vines, and 2 dried chipotle peppers. You can find these in the spices aisle, but if you can't find these, you can substitute these with the canned chipotle peppers, and you can use 2 or 3 or more depending on your level of spice. In a medium pan, we're going to heat up 2 tablespoons of vegetable or olive oil over medium-high heat. Once the oil is nice and hot, we're going to add in the onion, the garlic, tomato, and the peppers. We're going to fry them for a good 5 minutes with constant movement. Make sure to move them around often, especially the peppers, because you don't want those to burn, otherwise you're going to have a bitter sauce. Once the tomato, the onion, and the garlic are lightly fried and they look like this, we're going to add 1 cup of the chicken broth from the pot. We're going to remove it from the burner, cover it, and we're going to let it soak in the chicken broth for a good 10 to 15 minutes. Once it completely cools down, transfer everything to the blender, including the broth in the pan. The broth is already penetrated with the flavors of those peppers and the garlic and the onion, so we're going to use that to help blend the ingredients. Blend for a good minute or so, or until you have a nice creamy sauce. Now that the sauce and the chicken is shredded, we're going to begin to prepare the chicken tinga. We're going to start out by slicing half an onion. I'm going to slice it into thin slices like these. Once it's completely sliced, we're going to slice them in half again like this. In a medium pan, we're going to heat up a tablespoon of vegetable or olive oil over medium-high heat. Once the oil is nice and hot, we're going to add in the diced onion. And we're going to saute for a good 2 to 3 minutes or until the onion is nice and translucent and flavorful. After 2 to 3 minutes, we're going to add in the shredded chicken. With the amount of thighs that I boiled, I came up with about 4 cups of chicken. We're going to move it around to spread out the chicken to make sure it covers the entire bottom of the pan so we can season it. And for seasonings, we're going to use pepper. I'm going to add about 1/4 of a teaspoon of pepper and about 1/4 of a teaspoon of oregano. We're going to move it around to get those seasonings mixed in with the other ingredients. Once it's well mixed, we're going to add the sauce from the blender. We're going to move it around to get that sauce mixed in with the chicken. And I still have a lot of sauce left in the blender, so I'm going to add half a cup of the chicken broth to the blender. I'm going to shake it around to get the sauce that's stuck to the side of the cup and the blade. Then I'm going to add it to the pan. I'm going to mix it in with the rest of the ingredients. At this point, you can also taste it to see if it needs salt. Instead of salt, I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon, but you can use salt or a seasoning of your choice. I'm going to move it around to mix in the seasoning. We're going to turn down the burner to low heat, and we're going to let it simmer for a good 10 minutes or until most of the liquid has simmered down. This is a quick and easy recipe that you can make in no time, and you can also make it with leftover chicken or a rotisserie chicken from the supermarket if you're running short on time. Once most of the liquid has simmered down and it looks like this, we can begin to prepare the tostadas. You can prepare your own tostadas, but I'm going to be using store-bought tostadas. I'm going to start out by adding a small layer of refried beans to each tostada. We're going to add a good generous amount of the chicken to each tostada. Top them off with your favorite toppings. Today I'm going to be using shredded lettuce, Cotija cheese, a good generous amount of sour cream. These two I'm going to serve with a side of pickled jalapenos, or you can also top them off with your favorite salsa or any other of your favorite toppings. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I hope you give this recipe a try, and if you do, let me know how you like it in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give me a big thumbs up, and if this is your first time here and would like to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the little bell so you can get a notification each time I upload a new video. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much, and I'll see you on a different day with a different recipe. Thank you so much for watching.